Yo, YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Cray, and in today's video, I got for you all the ultimate Bloodhound guide for beginners here in 2021, also known as halfway through Season 8 in Apex Legends. Okay, so strap in your seatbelts, we about to go in. I will say though, this video is not just for beginners. As I said before in prior videos, this video is for people that may have taken a hiatus from Apex Legends and want to get back in and figure out the best ways to utilize Bloodhound. They might be for people that might be pro tier players and just want to see maybe they can learn a thing or two from some random guy on the internet. It's for everybody, okay? It's for everybody. It's just, again, for beginners, for SEO. Anywho, let's go ahead and let's dive in everything Bloodhound. So let's talk about Bloodhound's abilities here real quick. I'm sure you guys have an idea, but I gotta talk about them, okay? So Bloodhound's passive ability Tracker, right? And I'm reading this verbatim, just a heads up. Actions performed by enemies leave markers that Bloodhound can see. Clues will note how long ago they occurred and vanish after 90 seconds. So Bloodhound can actually ping clues for teammates, like either someone's been here or recent battle here, things of that nature. And while following trails of clues, Bloodhound can also see ravens manifest around enemies' tracks, okay? So again, you can track enemies, like literally track enemies like Tracker off of Call of Duty if you guys ever utilize that perk, okay? Bloodhound's tactical ability, Eye of the Allfather, in a 125-degree cone in front of you. I didn't know it was 125 degrees, so that's actually good to know. All enemies, traps, clues, and loot ticks are highlighted and tracked to be seen by you and your allies, okay? The maximum distance it will highlight is 75 meters. It'll also tell you how many hostiles were detected, with the max number of detected hostiles being 10. Anything higher will read 10 plus hostiles detected. I can't read, okay. Enemies caught in the scan will see sonar detected in their HUD, and it takes 1.8 seconds for the ability to activate, okay? Now, just a heads up, when you use Bloodhound's ultimate, Beast of the Hunt, the ability's cooldown and the activation time is faster at 8 seconds for the cooldown and 0.9 seconds respectively for the activation time. Tracking lasts for 4 seconds on players. Traps and loot ticks will remain highlighted for as long as they exist, okay? And again, leading into Bloodhound's ultimate ability, Beast of the Hunt, right? It lasts 35 seconds and remains active even when downed. Downed and not killing enemies will add 5 to 15 seconds to the Beast of the Hunt timer. The seconds added to the timer depend on the remaining duration of the ability, right? While active, again, Eye of the Allfather's cooldown is reduced to 8 seconds and activation time reduced to 0.9 seconds. Speed is increased by 30 seconds and your vision turns black and white except for enemies, which are highlighted in red. Footprints are also highlighted in red by the opposition, and certain things will retain little color, including the edge of the ring, grenade explosions, and various enemy abilities respectively. Teammates are highlighted in blue, okay? So again, Bloodhound's kit is legendary in regards to tracking, getting recon info, and honestly, just beating up on the opposition, man. Bloodhound is the truth for that. Oh, one more thing. I almost forgot Bloodhound's other passive ability, and it's recon. So Bloodhound can scan survey beacons to reveal the ring's next location, okay? So you see them scattered across the map. You can utilize that accordingly as well. Couldn't forget that. Now let's go ahead and talk about some of the best ways to play Bloodhound, also known as Bloodhound, okay? I would say one of the best ways is being a confident aggressor and leading comms, okay? So when you're playing Bloodhound, don't be afraid to get down and dirty, okay? Because you should have direct knowledge in regards to where the opposition is positioned. So you playing entry frag is not necessarily a bad thing, okay? Now, do remember when you go down, your team might not have any more opportunity to gather recon info, so keep that in mind. Play smart, of course, but again, be confident. Whenever you're confident, you tend to win gunfights, okay? Now, there was a study done. Okay, no, I can't even lie to you guys. There wasn't a study done. But in my opinion, I think when you are the confident aggressor, you typically win more gunfights than losing. Again, as long as you push smart. Also, you do got to lead those comms. You got to let people know what's going on, because you can see dang near everything that's going on. You can see footprints. You can say, hey, you know, Horizon used her Q 30 seconds ago right here. Hey, the team is going here, and you ping on the map. Hey, you know, footsteps were here 50 seconds ago and they're trailing to the right, you know, around this mountain or whatever. You know, giving communication and giving as much communication as possible, more than less, is going to help your team in an entirety, okay? You not giving comms and playing Bloodhound is just goofy. You're just kind of wasting a slot, in all honesty. Let somebody play Bloodhound that is willing to give comms in that regard, okay? Also, you want to be smart with your scans too, okay? If you're flanking and you already know where the opposition is, you don't need to scan, right? Because when you scan, all you're going to do is give away your flanking position, and they're going to reposition on you. They're going to team shot you. You're going to die, and you're going to leave your team in a 2v3 situation, okay? So you might not need to scan until you get a knock on somebody, right? Or if you need to reposition and figure out where the prey may have went or where the opposition may have went, then you scan, right? So use your scan smart, because remember, they can see the direction that the scan came from, and once they see that direction, they're going to turn all eyes on you. They're going to eviscerate you, and then they're going to hunt out your teammates and put them down too. Don't be that person that just scans relentlessly without a thought. Scan with intellect, okay? On the flip side, if you're playing Bloodhound from a little bit more of a supportive role, which I don't always recommend, but let's say you're doing it because, you know, your teammates are fraggers and you just got to play the support role. You got to keep the scans coming. Keep the scans coming, keep the comms coming as frequently as possible, because they need to know what they're up against. They need to know the best way that they should position themselves. And the only way they can figure that stuff out is if they know where the opposition is, if they know where they were, yada, 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 right? Also, it can be very, very, very useful to figure out where people haven't been, right? If you guys are running low on heals and need to loot up or running low on ammo, you can find an area like, oh guys, nobody was here, right? Of course, you can dictate that based upon crates being open and stuff, but also it's just good to know that nobody went through that area in an entirety, right? On the flip side of the spectrum, if you guys are looking for loot, you might be able to dictate, oh man, team here, get out, find somewhere else to go, right? You might save your team a wipe. And that is very pivotal, especially when you are looking towards playing in a more competitive sense, okay? Now let's talk about the best loadouts for Bloodhound, right? I'm gonna give you guys two loadouts, right? The aggressive loadout, right? If you're playing the aggressor, I would recommend going SMG AR, right? I love the R9 and the R3 combo, just because that gives you the opportunity to run and gun. You can run in, maybe one clip somebody with the R9, get out, heal up a little bit, or just drop back and start playing a little bit more mid range. What the heck? A little bit more mid range with the R301, okay? You can kind of trade out the 301 for a shotgun like an Evo or a Mastiff, but that's only if you plan on staying in that close range combat, which again, you're the recon person. You got to play smart, right? If you get a knock, I would recommend getting out of there, healing up, repositioning, doing things of that matter. I wouldn't recommend staying in there and challenging a Gibby or just two other people with a Mastiff, especially if your team isn't with you. That can get a little bit funky, okay? So I would say that second slot can be interchangeable. You know, if you like risking it all and you want to play the, what's the correct term? If you want to play the kamikaze, then by all means do so. You know, if you trust your other two teammates that well, or if you're playing duos, your other teammate that well, right, to trade off of you getting knocked, then so be it. Do that, right? But again, me personally, I go SMG AR, R9 plus the 301. That R400 combo gets nasty, okay? If you're playing a little bit more passive, right, if you're playing a little bit more that support role, then it's okay to rock like something like the SMG and a sniper, right? And by sniper, you guys know, I'm talking triple take. Triple take is the most annoying gun in the game, but is incredibly useful as a support weapon, right? Because if you're playing mid-range, you're keeping the scans coming so your team knows where everybody is, right? They're flying, they're barrel stuffing, they're fighting that close range fight, and you're sitting back a little bit and you're triple taking people, you know what I'm saying? It can get dirty, right? And in terms of the SMG, I would say maybe go with the Vault, because again, it has less damage drop off. You know what I'm saying? So even if you're fighting a mid-range fight, if you line up shots, you can do some damage on somebody. Or if somebody pushes you, you can still clap their cheeks with the Vault. And we all know the triple take is kind of a makeshift shotgun from the hip fire, right? So you can still protect yourself while supporting your teammates, okay? And lastly, I'm gonna leave you guys with a couple things to keep in mind. Remember, you are not invincible in your ultimate. I know you may feel like it, but you aren't. Okay, actually, as a matter of fact, you are actually more prone to being shot, right? You actually might be public enemy #1 in that regard, and you might get focused more because Bloodhound is so important, right? The opposition might think, dude, if we can take out that Bloodhound that's in their ult currently, right? They don't get constant scans anymore. They can't follow our footsteps. If we can take out that Bloodhound, it will totally change the tides of this fight, right? So in that case, you got to use cover to your advantage. You got to play smart. Realize you aren't going to 1v3 that entire team, and if you do, it's because you created multiple 1v1 situations and you were able to peel out, heal up, and clap them boys from your advantage, not from their advantage. You see what I'm saying? So we got to be smart, and I know it feels so good when you're flying around the map as Bloodhound. I do it every single day and I love it. but I always have at least one game where I'm like, Cray, come on, man, you stupid, bro. You thought you were invincible, and they just team shotted you to oblivion, bro. All right, let's play a little bit smarter, okay? So I want to save you guys that headache and just tell you guys right off the bat, you're not invincible. Just play smart and realize you are very important to your team, so act accordingly, okay? Definitely act accordingly. I'd rather you trade one of your teammates and you stay up and you get the knock and you guys can get that teammate back, res them, stay in the fight, than you be the first person getting knocked and your teammates trade off of you. Because when they trade off of you, that's a lot less information they're getting, and they're in more of a handicap versus the other option of trading off of them. You guys see what I'm saying? And lastly, communicate with your team. If you are running no mic comms, then ping everything you see. Like, seriously, ping everything you see. It might get annoying to some people, but I would rather you over ping and try to communicate with me as much as possible than under ping. And I'm like, dude, you're playing Bloodhound. Wow, how did I not know that we're running into a team? How did I not know there were people here 30 seconds ago? Like, how did I not know this stuff? You know what I'm saying? Like, over ping, it's okay. And again, if you're on the mic, give comms for everything. Talk too much. That is a-okay. Because as Bloodhound, I would rather you talk too much and let me know what's going on, because that's going to put us in the best position to win the game, versus you stay silent and you running around the map scanning absolutely nothing and we get put down. You guys see what I'm saying? So ultimately, just please talk. Please. Thank you. So ladies and gentlemen, that is what I have for you all on today. That is mastering Bloodhound. Okay, I know a lot of stuff I said was pretty simple, pretty much common knowledge, but it's okay to have a refresher every once in a while, right? You follow these tips and I think it will put you in the greatest position possible to bring home that Apex championship. Well, or just to become the Apex champion, for lack of better terms. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys learned anything. If you guys have any more tips, drop them down in the comments below. You know, let's help each other. And it's been your boy Cray. I'm signing off, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Until then, we are out. Peace.